messages in my head. I don't know how to cope with this. I'm keeping secrets in my head. Or any space you can find. Glad to see that I can help. Make your life a bit easier. And have you ever thought of how I felt? You need to think about your behavior.
I don't know why, but it is Sunday. It is time for Butch On Sports. Simply Butch is here, and as always, thanks for tuning in on the Sunday edition. The Sunday edition with guess who? Yes, me. We'll give you some sports news that you can't get enough of here, and hopefully you have had a very, very glorious and decent weekend. Today, some sun came out, and now the clouds are back. So hopefully you enjoyed your day, or should I say your weekend. Let's get to the sports news here. I don't know. I don't know how to tell this. So I wrote it down. I'll tell you this way. The Detroit Lions today, spending time at Ford Field, full of bits and pieces. I saw some positive things. I saw some negative things. Mostly the results are negative. Detroit Lions offense was part of the team that was missing its playmakers now. It's supposed to be Matthew Stafford and the choice of running backs, which has not been able to give any type of full-time assistance to its team. Yay or nay, exception for maybe the first three, okay? First 3 games of the season, that record was 2-0-1. However, it hasn't been the same. As you know, recently, Matthew Stafford, as of last week, was called in and a lot of mess for a bad back. As alleviated Matthew Stafford completely. We'll get to Matthew Stafford, and his time going to be out, from the Lions. What it's guesstimated, but what realistically is going to be probably the call. They did lose 35-27. However, the playmakers was not the problem. Their new playmakers, Mr. Jeff Driskel, and also they got a running back from their practice squad, Bo Scarborough. Bo Scarborough used to play as collegiate football at Alabama. And he ran very well for what little time he's been with the apparent team. Again, he's with the practice squad here. And Driscoll did some things that Matthew Stafford hasn't done. I'll be courteous about this. Since the Henbrook win, and that's have some mobility, buy some time to throw a pass, although he only completed the 15 of 26. He didn't throw any interceptions. He gave some diversions, and those diversions was he ran the football when he was able to run it, or did not hold on to it to make any mistakes. And that's a good thing. That is something, if Matthew Stafford can give his team, we're not in the record. We don't have the record that we have right now. That's just plain and simple. However, our defense needs a lot of work. We do not have a consistent pass rush. Although what made any difference for Dak Prescott of Dallas there, he is one phenomenal quarterback who gave you something that, again, I'm talking about a mobile quarterback who can get out of trouble, and when he gets out of trouble or can't find someone to throw to, or make a play with can pick up yards on its own by taking what he is given. And the Lions don't have that. No pass rush. So, and again, this is a Casey quarterback who I noticed today, and I don't know anybody else noticed it in the game. That Prescott is very good going not to his right. He's a right-handed passer, but he is excellent going and throwing the football toward his left. And I think that throws a lot of lines off when you're playing a right-handed quarterback, thinking that his best side is his right side. And this guy is, humongous amount of throws today came off him scrambling going to his left. I don't know if anybody noticed that. Maybe when you see the replays of the game and whatnot, you will kind of notice that they did it more than once, did it more than twice, did it more than 3 times. And I can keep this conversation going. He did it more than 5. And I'm not saying he stopped at 6. He was fantastic when he was able to buy time. But again, you got a great pass rush and you got some communication going on with your linebackers as well. Some of those particulars can't be negated. And that's not happening with the Detroit Lions. You can blame it on defense. You can blame it on lack of communication with the players. Blame is there. But we can move on with the blame. Okay. Again, the Lions quarterback, Driskel, played enough and was accounting for the rushing touchdown and 2 passes scored. That's Driskel himself. Bo Scarborough promoted his to the active roster. It looked like he could have had some potentials as a rusher. In the meanwhile, he did score a touchdown, and he made some running plays that basically we have not seen in a long time consistently, and that's running from the inside. Running low and getting what you got. Tough yards, as I would call it. Very good, tough yards. Something to work with. So those missing, okay, not having a running back, not having a quarterback, was not the factor in this loss with the Detroit Lions against the Dallas Cowboys. I want to make that clear. And you want to cry about Matthew? Wait a minute. They had that going on today. Let's discuss some more, okay? While we're in the crap game here. Darius Slate, okay? We don't have 4 Darius Slates on the field. We only got 1. And this one Darius Slate did shut down Amari Cooper. But when you have 3 other people, that means the other quarterback and the 2 safeties. And we'll talk about 2 receivers after that. Michael Gallup, 148 yards. Randall Cobb, 115 yards. Those are just 2 of the receivers. I ain't said nothing about Witten or anything else. That got passes completed to himself today on the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys racked up 434 yards of passing yardage. And we scored 35 points now. Now, Ezekiel Elliott, I haven't mentioned him yet. They did bottle him up. They bottled him up to only getting 45 yards. That's a very great game by the people who were responsible for Ezekiel Elliott. That means the linebackers for that. And maybe some cornerback play. Okay? But Dak Prescott was the man. Plain and simple in this particular game. Lack of defensive backs, lack of a pass rush. Doom for the Detroit Lions today. Again, 35 points and 27 points was the final score, give Dallas the 35 points. Another thing I couldn't figure out here. Lions scored 27 points, and when the score was like, I can't understand why they went for 2 points at that point in time. I don't know if they're trying to lighten the load or whatever it may be, but you know what? 7 points, knowing that you can tie the game on a possession, which they did receive a couple of times, the Lions I'm talking about. What are you going to do? again, and I'm just going to say this, okay? The Lions coaching got to be much better. It should be some coming to Jesus meetings with the general manager and the coach and his coaching staff on getting the players that he have right now, the 53 on roster, to play better. They play Washington next week, okay? Now, that should be a jump in the park for the Detroit Lions because they, to me, is a better team than Washington. But you just don't know. Then after that, they take on the Bears 4 days later on Thanksgiving Day on the 28th. Let me stick this in your teeth, and you can grin and bear with this one. There are 3 teams since this season been going on. 3 teams, only 3 teams in the NFL, who have had leads in every single game they have played. 2 of them are first-place teams presently right now in the NFL. The 3rd team is the Detroit Lions. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Ends my grief. By the way, Detroit Lions injury report in this game, Frank Reynaud and Trey Flowers, they are in concussion protocol. I'm quite sure we'll hear more Monday with Detroit Lions brass, and we'll probably talk again on Wednesday's podcast here. Kevin LeBlanc had 2 goals and assists, and the shootout winner. Red Wings lose last night for 6 straight, for a 6 straight win for the team that beat them, San Jose. Although they got a point out of this bad boy. Talking about the Red Wings. That's 2 points. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Andreas Anthony scored twice. Till Herberos, also one for Detroit, who have lost the last 12 or 16 games. We're talking about the Red Wings. I'm sorry to give you that news. They play Tuesday. That's all I'm going to say. By the way, the Hall of Fame, it grew larger as of Saturday. The 6 individuals got into the Hall of Fame, and at a later date will be cherished and represented and celebrated. Guy Carbonell, Felix Nomenmensky, Jimmy Weatherford, Haley Wickenheiser, Jerry York, and Sergei Zubak were inducted in Toronto. 2 of those particular seasons, Nomenmensky and also Jimmy Weatherford played for the Red Wings for the time being. But I'm quite sure Jimmy Weatherford will be inducted as a builder rather than a player. Although he was pretty doggone good for the time being with Detroit Red Wings in those particular days there he was playing when I got the chance to watch him. Not bad goaltender at all. But he's a better manager and builder of putting together hockey teams. And he showed that time in and time out with the teams he has represented. That brings a total of 81 Detroit Red Wings in the Hall of Fame. 81. Tell it if you got nothing to do. Oh, boy. Speaking of defense, the Detroit Pistons defense is one reason right now that the team is no good. First of all, the first part of the season, they have played a total of, I think, 13 games here. And that schedule has been very much so compressed. They've had some back-to-backers, maybe a day off and to play another game the next day. But this schedule they have played so far has been very compressed. Plus, you can blame injuries all you want, but you know what kind of team you had before you start the season there. You know, if you've been truthful with everybody in your team and yourself, you know what players can contribute right away, and the ones who need some work. I said this and I said it best. They do have practically a whole new bench that is better than last year's bench, and could be better than last year's bench. But again, people have to learn how to play defense. That is strictly the menu for very good success in any basketball game. I'm so sorry if I don't believe in the LeBron James protocol. You outscore and out dippity do somebody, and that one man can be the big deal. I never will believe that. It's always the team that wins the championship, and you better believe they're playing defense or they don't have nothing. The Pistons are 27 in defensive ranking. They were the same way when they finished last year. That same way. They was 12th last year at the defensive ranking. 12th versus 27th. Now, last year we complained about the defense, but you know what? Some things were a lot better. Moving on. They're tied for 27 in opposing field goal percentage. That's where the 27 is still reigns supreme. In opposing field goal percentage, at 27, still not good. They're letting people score. They're 28 in opposing the opposition with 3-point percentage as well. So you add all that together, right now their ranking in the NBA is, with those two figures there, do a little division, they're ranked 19th in the NBA as far as the defensive points is concerned with 112 points, but their defense stinks. And that's the main reason right now they're 4-6. They got a little time off, 4 days. It's time to get yourself together and have some good practices, and mainly making sure that everybody's accountable. You know what you got to play with now? The ones who are well. Derrick Rose, you can't throw away the ball. I'm just saying. Okay? Just saying it. I'm getting it out of my system. Football. University of Michigan and Michigan State. University of Michigan is getting a little bit strong. But they got 2 more games to go, just like Michigan State there. And any doggone thing goes as far as the late season. Especially for Michigan, who got something to gain. I'm not saying the top 4 in the playoffs. That's not going to happen. But a good place to play a good bowl game, that's still in the works because everything's up in the air in the Big Ten. Okay? And, Ohio State got to play Penn State. Penn State ain't no bum. So we'll wait and see next week what happens to that. And meanwhile, top 3 teams, LSU, Ohio State, and Clemson. Number 4 is Georgia. And who'd have thought? Because they beat Auburn. So what? They move ahead of Alabama, who's ranked number 5. Okay? Oregon's number 6, Utah 7th, Oklahoma's 8, Penn State 9th, Florida's 10th, Minnesota's 11th, Michigan is 12th, Baylor is 13th, Wisconsin's 14th, and the list goes on and on. Those hits goes on and on, boys and girls. But there you go to the top 14 in the nation. And you ask me why I don't like the playoff system. These are not bad teams at all. Some of these, majority of the teams only lost 1 game. There. College football next weekend, man. Michigan State would be lucky, and I said it last year. They should have been here entertaining company at Ford Field. So, the next 2 games, Michigan State will be playing to play at Ford Field. I never thought I would say that. But if they want to go anywhere, because they lose 1 more, that's not happening. You only won 4 games. Come on, Michigan State, you do it, you might be at the Quick Lane Bowl at Ford Field. It's nothing to laugh at, boys and girls. Come on, let's be nice. Division One of the MHSAA in football. And not to ignore volleyball, who got some ring-slinging finals coming up and all this other good stuff with semifinals. We're going to deal with that on Wednesday in its entirety. Not to take away from that, because everything's going to hit the fan on the weekend for that. Okay, this weekend. So we'll give that the time rather than we'll get the time tonight on the semifinals that's upcoming. Okay? In Division One. Yes, in Division One. Brighton will be at Bellevue. And that game will play at Howe, Michigan. Sterling Heights, Stevenson versus Davison. That'll be played at Troy, Athens. Those games are at 1 o'clock on Saturday. The next division, Muskegon, Mona Shores, and Wall Lake, and they'll be playing at Western. They'll be playing Okemos. That's Wall Lake Western. Birmingham Seaholm will play Martin Luther King. They'll be playing at Novi. Division 3. Okay, that's where we're at right now. Semifinals, DeWitt versus Muskegon at East Kentwood. River Rouge will be playing Chelsea in Dearborn. That's going to be a slapper here. And River Rouge is just River Rouge has the advantage in the travel in this. So Chelsea is a little bit away, and they got the better record. However, in this particular case, River Rouge is about 25 minutes away. 25 minutes away from Dearborn. So that's a travel advantage for Dearborn. They can sleep in their own beds and be at in Dearborn on Auto Drive in less than 20 to 25 minutes on a Saturday on a good day to be at their destination. Yes, indeed. Against Chelsea. We'll move on here, boys and girls. Hudsonville Unity and Christian at versus Grand Rapids Catholic Central. That'll be in Jensen, Michigan. Flint Powers Catholic at Detroit Country Day. That'll be in Howell Parker, Michigan. Moving on along. Lansing Catholic versus Kingsley in Greenville. Detroit Denby versus Almo in Wall Lake Central, their destination. By the way, these are all 1 o'clock games here, boys and girls here. Montague will be playing Maple City Glen Lake, and they'll be in Clare, Michigan. Onstead versus Monroe St. Mary's Catholic Central. They'll be in Lincoln Consolidated School. That's in the football stadium in Ypsilanti. And we're at Division 7 now here, boys and girls. Piedmont Westphalis versus Iron Mountain. That will be played at Northern Michigan University Superior Dome. That will be a bomb burner in itself here because they'll be playing indoors, and they both are undefeated. To me, that's the game of the year. That game, by the way, will not be a 1 o'clock game. That will be a 7 o'clock game. Cass City and Jackson Loomis Christian will be at Novi on Saturday there. That will be a 1 o'clock a.m. game on Saturday before the other games hit the fan there. So you'll get a doubleheader at that particular in that particular city here. It'll be different locations, but again, in Novi, got 2 games. And Division 8 finally there. Division 8, semifinals. Usually at Beale City. That's at Mount Pleasant High School. That's at the stadium. And Fowler versus Reading in Battle Creek, Harper Creek. That's in Battle Creek. For your dancing and enjoyment there, the 8-player championship is at the Superior Dome in Marquette. Division 1, Sutton Bay versus Cologne. That's the 11 o'clock Saturday. Division 2, Pickford versus Portland State St. Patrick's. I'm going to say Portland State. I used to go to Portland State. But St. Patrick's there, that's a 2 p.m. game on Saturday. Those games are both played at the Superior Dome in Marquette. So good luck to the participants in that particular game and those football games this upcoming Saturday. The semifinals are the winner of all the Division 1 through 8s and the 11-man extravaganza there will be playing Friday or Saturday at Ford Field after Thanksgiving. Yep. However, early birds catch the worm and want to go to Marquette, you can catch the 8-man dealings, which will be this upcoming Saturday. I think I got it all done. And the amount of time I'm supposed to, boys and girls, so I did it. And I'm happy with that there. Well, being happy with that there means it's time for me to say so long there. Butch On Sports is a presentation of Oh My Darling production. Yes, you can hear Butch On Sports on Facebook. Always on Facebook. Go to Butch On Sports, the page on Facebook. Give me a like or hey, ask for an invitation. I'm going to let you on in there so you can hear the podcast. And hey, if not, go to the podcast page, type in simplyButchoo.podomatic.com. Yes, that site too. You can also go to the GameSportsShow.podbean.com. Yes, that's always available on that particular website, which other shows, including the Games Sports Show, which is on Monday night on ESPN 1400 from 6 to 8 o'clock. Scott Mason, Dave McKay, E.J. Russell, and yes, yours truly will be around to give you some sports news and conversation that'll knock your socks off and then some. That'll get you in the mood for some turkey or something. Hey, and a dessert to boot. I'm done with all of this all here. Again, have a great, great weekend. The headlines for Wednesday's Butch On Sports here. Volleyball. We're going to go through that in Nick and the Cranny for the weekend and also the finals there in that particular sport for the high school there. Don't forget, can't forget the girls in that particular, and then some other sports that are going on in high school. And plus, let me tell you this before I go off the air, in December, boys and girls, we will not be on Wednesday. We will be on Thursday all the month of December, okay? Until we in January, then we'll go back to our Wednesday. So just a reminder, and we'll keep on doing that. Okay? Hey, see you later.